Corn School is brought to you by BASF and Pride Seeds.
Bernard Tobin on the Corn School this morning, catching up with Dale Cowan from Agris Co-op. How's it going?
Oh, it's, I guess all things considered, not so bad. I guess it's a bit better where you're standing, what you want to talk about.
Well, I mean, that's what I want to talk about. This spring has been an odd one. Very dry in areas, nice weather some places, bad conditions in others. You've been all over the Southwest. What are you seeing?
Well, you know, April was the coldest on record, and we thought, boy, was spring ever going to get here? And boy, the last 3 days of April, it went really gangbusters, dried right up, and then by the third day of May, farmers were crying for rain. It was getting too dry. Yeah. And then it kind of started going south from there. So I guess we can, which one of the 5 springs do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about an area that you know well, the Southwest, Essex, Kent, Chatham. A lot of rain there and some decisions to be made for farmers in the next day or so.
Yeah, so anything on clay, south of Chatham, west into Essex, and especially Essex County, they just haven't had a break from the rain. Just when it gets dry enough to work, you get another inch or 2 of rain. So we're getting down there that we're probably going to get on the ground this week, hopefully, and might be farming a little ugly in places. Yeah. But we're going to get some corn in the ground. So when it comes to the thoughts now turn to, well, do I start changing my heat unit maturities on my corn? We're probably okay this week in Essex, maybe even to the end of the month. But after the end of the month, we're going to start dropping. Well, the thumb rule is 100 heat units per week of delayed planting. I'm not liking the forecast for the summer. It's kind of cold, being forecast, and it's a forecast, so it's cooler than last summer. We struggled for heat units last summer. I'm kind of recommending our farmers we drop 200 heat units right off the bat. Give ourselves a chance at black layer and dry down the fall.
Yeah. Now last year, I think we may have gotten a little spoiled. We had that great fall, finished everything up. Those hybrids stayed green and strong, but can't count on that.
No, that was, that we were lucky. I mean, that was 700 or 1,000 heat units in September is unheard of. And if we hadn't had that, we would have had a much different year than we had. So I think we need to be a little bit cautious this year, just to be on the safe side. Is maybe drop those heat units a little earlier. I think we're okay this week in Essex, but if it gets pushing next week, I think we're going to see some switching on maturities. And then if it gets into June, I'm not so sure the appetite for June planted corn has been there as much as in the past. So we're likely going to see a change to soybeans come June.
Now it's basically May 25th here. I guess the other thing I wanted to mention is when you're switching the hybrids, those late hybrids, they're strong. If you're dropping 100-200 heat units, you're not giving up a lot of yield punch here.
No, some of these early hybrid, take the difference between 102 day and 98. We look at our test plots, some of those late day varieties actually can out yield some of the long day varieties. Depends when they flower and that sort of thing. They tend to have a slower or a shorter grain fill period, but if they flower at the right time out of the heat and whatnot and have moisture, they can perform just as well as some of the longer day corn. But as a rule, they are generally lower yielding corn. But boy, anymore the genetics is giving us some impressive corn, even the early varieties.
Hey Dale, good stuff. Hopefully it dries up. Some wheels start turning, and we don't have to make some decisions on dropping heat units, but maybe we'll.
It's getting to be top of mind for growers if we don't get going.
Good stuff.
Yep.